Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Conservation 2020 Lands Acquisition and Stewardship Advisory Committee meeting for March 20th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could, first order of business is stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Renee, if I could trouble you to call the roll. Looks like we have a pretty full house tonight.
Renee Anita, for the record, calling the roll. Karen Andrus.
Present.
Carl Baracco.
Here.
Derek Batana. Here. Joseph Cruz. Here. Reggie Henderson. Here. Ron Inge.
Here.
Christy Knight. Here. Matthew Lincolnhall. Here. John Paul. Here. Chris Robin. Here. Elaine Sarlo. Here. Sawyer Smith. Here. Shane Spring. Here. Andrew Sund. Here. Bridget Thoreau. Here. That's a quorum and a full house.
Very good. Thanks, everyone, for coming tonight. Next order of business is our minutes for the January 17th meeting. Hopefully, everyone's had a chance to review those. Are there any comments, or would someone like to make a motion for approval?
I motion.
Motion by Mr. Spring, second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. That carries. Item number 5, nomination 630, Sum Investments, 7.69 acres with a score of 41, adjacent to the Estero Bay Preserve State Park. This is a purchase agreement. Mr. Clemens.
Yes, this is a purchase agreement. Y'all have already forwarded this for board consideration, so today we're looking at this as to the terms and conditions of the purchase agreement to see that y'all recommend approving or not approving, what the case may be. The purchase price on this is the appraised value at $80,700. The county will be responsible for paying recording of the deed, environmental audit, and survey. We choose to get one. All other closing expenses and costs will be borne by the seller. There's not a whole lot of issues with this one as far as contractual arrangement. It's pretty much an isolated tract without any neighbors or anything for encroachments or concerns with the road on the northern boundary.
I make a motion to move forward with the acquisition agreement.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Spring, second by Mr. Smith. We'll take a vote on this. Any comments, questions? We'll take a vote on this. If it's unanimous, we won't have to call the roll. If not, we'll have to call the roll so we can record the votes. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Pardon me. Would anyone in the public care to speak on nomination 630, which is Sum Investments adjacent to Estero Bay Park, 7.69 acres? If so, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll go back to the committee. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. That carries unanimously, so you can record that as unanimous approval. The next item is 6A, nomination 622, Captiva Key LLC, 14 acres. We received a request from the representatives of the property owners asking for a deferral. They were unable to get folks to attend the meeting so that they could speak on behalf of this particular nomination. They've asked to continue their presence in this item, if you will, till the May 15th meeting or as soon thereafter as may be heard. So I'd like to entertain a motion from someone to defer item 6A to May 15th or as soon thereafter as may be heard. Thank you. Mr. Sun, second by Mr. Smith. Any comments or questions? Would anyone in the public like to address this? We're deferring it, so I'd prefer to wait till that item. Thank you. We have one card, so thank you, Holly. All right, seeing none. We have a motion to defer this till May 15th or as soon thereafter as that may be heard. Do we have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 6B, crew nominations. There are 6 parcels, all of which are similar and all of which have been evaluated together. Nominations 296-4, 437-3, 467-2, 645, 646, and 647. Mr. Clemens, would you care to present to the committee summary of these.
Pretty much summed this up. We're looking at about 40 acres scattered through the Crew area. All these properties are very similar in characteristics. These tend to be 5 and 10 acre tracts of land that we're seeking to acquire to kind of infill between various governmental agencies' ownerships. Those ownerships tend to be TIFT, which is the state of Florida, and South Florida Water Management District.
Any questions of staff on these 6 nominations? I won't read them in order again, but any questions of staff? Would anyone in the public care to address item 6B, 6 parcels in the Crew Trust? Please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do we have a motion?
I'll move the item. Second.
Okay, you guys are on your game today, I'm telling you what. A motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Spring, to recommend that these go forward for evaluation. Do we have any further comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 7, staff items. Management status report for maintenance activities October through December 2023. Kathy Loomis is going to give this presentation this evening.
Yes, Mac is on vacation, so I am. So you all were provided this. Does anyone have any question on this report before I go on to others? Everyone had a chance to review it? Some of the things that we have going on is we've been really increasing control at our preserves because we have been having a lot of vandalism, ATVs, things that shouldn't be going on in our preserves. So our ranger units have been getting out there a whole lot more and patrolling it. We're trying to get the public, if you have a problem at nighttime, in the middle of the night, call the sheriff's department. We try to make them, they have every right to call the sheriff's department to have them come out if things are going on in the preserves that shouldn't be going on. But we do have the ranger presence out there, which seems to be helping quite a bit. We are finally fully staffed with our natural area coordinators. We have 10, which we have not been fully staffed since before the hurricane. So we're really excited about that. Have a whole lot of projects going. Right now we have 7 fencing projects in the works. We have 24 exotic projects in the works. And since we met last, we've had 2 burns. So we're really getting back in speed and doing well with a lot of the maintenance on the different properties. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Loomis on any of the items in the report or in her comments? If so, please speak up. All right, we'll move on. Item number 7A2, which is an update on some activity in the Kiker Preserve, something we talked about a few months ago. Mr. Clemens.
Yes, back in October, we brought forward a proposal where we were working with the city of Bonita Springs, who's working with the developer of the mine area. There is a berm that runs along the easterly boundary of that mine and along the northerly boundary of the mine. Lee County, through Natural Resources, is looking to build a berm that kind of follows that red line you see in there. As part of the agreement being brought forward, the owner of the mine has that berm and will allow the county to build upon that berm so as not to have 2 redundant parallel berms going around this facility for the larger project that Natural Resources is looking to build. This will save several $1 million. The city of Bonita Springs will be given Lee County access in the, I wish I had some kind of pointer. It's up in the north corner of the mine, the northwest corner of where the lakes are. There's a 40-acre tract that the property owner is trading with the city as part of an agreement that they have, and as such, the county will be given access through that property, which will give us access to Kiker Preserve. What the county is contributing to this, at the intersection of East Terry Street and Bonita Grand, the county will be conveying about a half acre of 2020 property and fee,
and about 1,300 square feet in a slope easement to accommodate the roundabout that's to be constructed there. So staff recommends going forward with this agreement. This creates huge savings for the county. It also creates a scenario where there's less environmentally sensitive lands disturbed by that berm footprint, and the road improvements will help the community overall. So staff is recommending to go forward with this agreement. The county will not be paying for the berm area, but they will be paying the differential in the cost to build up that berm. So if the berm for the mining operation had to be 2 feet and the county's building it to 6 feet, the county's going to pay for that 4-foot differential. So that would be the cost associated with this agreement that the county would incur. If anyone has any questions?
Robert, so what exactly would this committee be voting to give up?
Whether you agree with this concept or not,
Just the land that it involves? Just 2020 land, is that?
correct.
It would seem to me that, I believe what we're being asked to do is support the idea of partnering with the mining company to enhance their berm rather than build a separate berm. But then also that little portion down at Terry Street and Benita Grand Road that we lose. So we need, that's a thing that we don't normally look at or do, but we're weighing that, I believe, in conjunction with the savings and the benefits from the berm itself.
Yeah, but I just want to confirm, the only thing that we're really giving up, so to speak, is that those 2 corners of land.
Correct. Otherwise, the footprint of a new berm is going to encompass, you're looking at a mile run north and south, so depending on how wide that is for a mile, you're looking at many, many acres that are going to be disturbed otherwise.
Yeah, that was what I'm sitting here thinking is you trade a little bit to protect a lot.
Correct.
It would be 23 acres roughly.
Okay. That's a big impact.
Direct impacts, not secondary impacts included, but direct impacts of 23.
I'll move the item.
I'll second.
So we're gaining 23 acres?
No, we're not sacrificing.
Well, I understand that, but Renee, go back to the one of the mine with the line, please. That line is on their property, so are we actually gaining?
No, that's just there for representation purposes.
Okay.
It's hard to line those up.
So,
Basically, it's on their border.
On
So
their
we're
border.
staying on
We're not
their
picking up any new
property
so we're just improving their berm, which they'll have
to incorporate into our berm
into our
system.
berm, okay.
Yep.
That was my point.
Yeah.
I don't think 2020 is doing anything other than giving up the cross-hatched land at the corner. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The county's doing some other things.
Yeah, but I didn't know if we were actually gaining any land where that berm is, because is that berm going to be on our property now? Or is it actually
It's gonna
going?
be on theirs.
On their property, okay. That was where my question was.
No, we'll get an easement for that berm, so it'll stay there. They can't come in and impact it later.
Correct, that's part of the agreement.
Okay. All righty, thank you for that. Any further questions? Renee? Carl? And Mr. Smith, I believe, seconded. Any other? Yes, Andrew?
On the maintenance of that berm, obviously if those do wear down, is that on the property owner to maintain it at county required height?
That's,
The county will have the right to go in and maintain it, they're going to be maintaining it, because obviously they have appearance, they want to keep their building to the 18 elevation, we are going to pay the difference to the 20, and with that, they'll have maintenance, but we also have maintenance, access to that whole area.
Vance, what is the purpose of the berm?
It was identified in the Southern Lee County Flood Mitigation Study, that was performed after Hurricane Irma. It is part of a larger project that's in phases that would, encompass Keiker Preservers Berm, that mine, and then down into the Green Lake. Irma, yeah.
Mr. Lincoln, you had a comment or a question?
Just need to get on record, I need to recuse myself due to a conflict.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments before we call for a vote?
How certain is the berm for Terry County Reserve? Is that a for sure thing?
Yeah, that is also going to happen with
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to support the concept of partnering with the mining company for the berm and for the realignment of the roundabout there at East Terry Street and the transfer of a small portion of the property to the city to be able to accomplish that. Any further questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. Note that we have one nay, all others are in favor of. All righty, thank you very much. Any committee member items that we, Mr. Botan, excuse me, I couldn't think of your name real quick. Voted no. Any committee member items you'd like to bring forward at this time? If so, please do so. Seeing none, we'll move on. Public comment. Would anyone in the public care to address the committee on any items at this time? Please come forward. Ms. Schwartz.
Hi there, good afternoon. Holly Schwartz, I'm going to represent two different entities if I could. The Eyes on 2020 group absolutely thanks the committee for supporting all of the properties that came up today. We want to absolutely thank staff for moving on some of those management issues. As a matter of fact, on Joel Boulevard with the new Alva Scrub Preserve, people were going crazy seeing things getting bulldozed, and when they found out it was fire lines for fences, they were absolutely thrilled. So, I mean, the ATVs have just ripped that up to shreds. The problem, though, with calling the police when they're out in the middle of the night shooting guns is the police will come, but they can't get their cars back there. So, you know, there really is not a whole heck of a lot of help that you can get from that. So I appreciate anything that can be done there. On the Buck Key, Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation will speak on that in the future, but we're very hopeful that this program can be successful. And the property is spectacular. There's a lot of development pressure in that area on Captiva, and the mangroves have been proven to be help with storm surge and flooding. So, and then finally, on Kiker Preserve, this is not on the agenda at all, but the Kiker Preserve was purchased in 2017, and we've been bugging staff for quite a while about whether and when the public will have access to that property. And we've been told that there will be a public hearing of some sort, and so we're just hoping we can potentially get an update on that relatively soon. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else in the public care to speak? If so, please come forward at this time. Seeing none. Next meeting date is Wednesday, April 17th at 5:30. I'll be out of town, so Mr. Spring will chair the meeting. Any other comments or questions? Or if not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Andrus. Second. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. We're out of here.